Hello and welcome to Ask Dr. Love. If love is the answer, what is your question? This show, this podcast, is for you to ask any questions you want about Asian medicine, acupuncture, herbal medicine, nutrition, and your health. Today we are faced with a major health crisis and a lack of confidence in the current medical system. With me in studio is a special guest. He happens to run a martial arts academy. He's also a blood perfusionist who's on a medical team that treats high-profile patients around the country. He has created a subspecialty of Chinese medicine, which deals with heat and cold. And his specialty is called thermal therapy. Now, we've all heard the term inflammation and how inflammation causes disease. But we're going to use heat therapy to reverse disease. So welcome, Dr. Ma'at.
Thank you.
Glad
Dr.
you're
Love.
able.
I'm honored. To have the Dr. Love and Dr. Ma'at. What a tag team.
That's an amazing thing. And we came together over martial arts, and I went to visit him in Desert Springs, California. And he's got the Muntu University. And the things he teaches, I was amazed, and he's got all kind of weapons and training things. And I was in heaven the whole time I was there. And I said, I can't wait for you to come and visit me in Florida. And bang, here he is.
Law of attraction.
Law of attraction. So tell us, what is thermal therapy?
Yeah, so thermal therapy is basically thermal, meaning heat. And the therapy is to apply it in such a manner where you can have objective outcomes. The history of it goes all the way back to Imhotep, one of our ancestors in Kemet. And what he would do as one of the premier physicians that predated Hippocrates by thousands of years, he would have his patients, and whenever he wanted to heat them up, he would put them underneath the sand, just like if you go to the beach today. And they bury you underneath the sand. They cover your face so the sun wouldn't get to it. But the sun would heat the sand up and therefore heat the patient up, giving the patient a fever. And so he was able to titrate the length of time and the heat of the sand to the therapies that the person would need to get the fever.
So an artificial fever kills bacteria, fungus, parasites, and viruses.
Absolutely. Yeah, so fever itself, as mammals, we are warm body mammals. And so whenever we get any infection, any pathogen, or worms, fungus, yeast, molds, viruses, bacteria, all those, they want to stay at our normal body temperature. And then as mammals, our immune system sees they're not supposed to be here. We need to change our environment, and hence a fever is enacted to actually raise the body temperature. And whenever that happens, that makes that environment hostile to those pathogens, and they can't thrive in there no longer. In addition, it stimulates the immune system, so all the white blood cells are on attack for anything that's foreign to eat them up and eliminate them.
So as it turns out, heat triggers the white blood cells to bloom. So in Chinese medicine, there's something called moxa, which is mugwort rolled into a cigar. And when you heat the belly button with the mugwort cigar for 10 minutes, within 8 hours, there's a bloom of white blood cells. And they found out that if they did it every day for 3 days, it would increase white blood cell production for 3 weeks. And if they did it every day for a month, it would increase white blood cell production for 3 months.
Wow, that's awesome.
So that is the Chinese medicine way of heat therapy. But now your way is to heat the entire body.
Yes, yes. So the concept of heating the body, there can be multiple ways. Like I said, with the sand, you can do it with magnets, you can do it with microwaves. There's people that they found about giving someone, injecting them even with malaria. Yeah.
Wow.
And-
So tell us how it works with magnets.
Well, magnets, what they would do, they would find, this works great with tumors. And so tumors is cancer that want to thrive and mimic the normal body tissue. And so it sucks nutrients from the body. And as it does that, the blood vessels are very thin. And in that, they can be destroyed. So the magnets, you can inject these micro magnets into the tumor, and then or nanoparticles rather, and magnets would make the nanoparticles move so fast
up.
and then create heat in that particular area, which would kill the tumor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk more about that later. So now tell us about the thermal, tell us about how it's used to treat cancer.
Okay, so various pathogens and diseases have different thresholds for temperature. Cancer is one of the higher temperatures that you have to achieve to kill. So we have to go up to about 108 degrees Fahrenheit, 42 degrees centigrade. And in that, so we have to do a certain progression in heating someone. And whenever we do that using the whole body method, we have to heat the whole body in doing that. So we have to have safeguards that's going to be there whenever you're heating the heart, you're heating the head, you're heating other organs during that time as well. So for cancer therapy, you have to be very, very skillful as not only just a wellness person, but in medicine as well, so that you don't cause heart arrhythmias, heart attack, stroke, or anything like that.
Okay.
All right. So in that, cancer is one of the harder things to get rid of. But that same threshold, similar to like water, will melt at room temperature. Butter, you put butter in your hand, it'll melt. Wax, you put that in the sun, it'll melt. So different things have different target temperatures for them, for those physical chains to dissolve and melt away. So cancer is one of the other higher ones. But things that are lower temperatures like fibromyalgia, chlamydia, those type of things, that yeast or fungus, or things that deal with arthritis, you can deal with that with a lower temperature, about 39.5, about 103 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, so your typical hot tub is between 102 and 105 degrees. So if you were going to a hot tub 20 minutes every day between 102 and 105, you'd kill most everything except cancer.
Yes, and not only that, it would help keep your system clean. So even if you had issues of binging on things that were healthy inappropriate, it would help detox you so that you would be able to thrive better.
That's crazy. Now, I moved to the place that I live in because there was a hot tub and a steam room. So now, here I am in my hot tub every day for 20 minutes.
Yes.
And now with this silly quarantine, I can't go in my hot tub.
Oh, no.
So I called some friends of mine up and they said, George, I'm installing a steam room in my bathroom.
Yes.
And they're creating steam showers where they can heat up to 105.
Great. Well, the showers is a lifestyle type method that you can do for keeping yourself healthy. So in that, by taking a shower every day, and a hot shower, hottest, so it's stinging your skin, right? You want to stay in there, and that brings the extra heat. You know, when you get out of the shower and you towel off and you're still sweating,
right?
After 5 minutes, you towel off again, you're still sweating. It's because that shower actually giving you a temperature, a fever.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now let me ask you about exercise.
All right.
Doesn't running, biking, skating, swimming, well, not swimming, but running, biking, fitness, Qigong today, he was in our Qigong class,
Right.
and he said, I never sweat. And he was sweating today.
Well, so when we look at the difference between sweating and fever, so you can run up a hill, do all kinds of exercises, and you have your wife beater on, and you're running and everything, you know, looking good, and you got your towel off. So you're sweating because you're detoxing, because sweat is one of the ways we get rid of toxins. Just like you go to do a number 1, a number 2, or women have their menses. These things that you can get rid of your toxins. Sweat is a great way. However, since you're evaporating your body to the atmosphere, your body doesn't actually get a fever. Okay, so the things that we would do in the shower, the shower's still hot. If you're in there 20 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, you're not allowing it to evaporate to normal atmospheric temperature. It's still steaming hot in there. And that's how you keep that fever going.
Now, in my bathroom, we have heat lamps
Yes.
in the ceiling. We have a low ceiling with heat lamps. So we can do a hot shower and then still stay in a hot environment if we shut the door and put towels to prevent the cool air from escaping.
That's a great technique. Very great technique.
You gave me a new tip on staying healthy and staying young and building a strong immune system. Okay, now tell me about thermal blankets.
Yes. So we use far infrared thermal blankets. So what is far infrared? We know about light. We're beings of light. We're children of the sun. We're animated sun creatures. Like a man. So in that, light has different frequencies, and far infrared rays are the slow moving ones that penetrate. So in the morning, as it's dawn, when the sun rises, the plants turn toward the sun. And then at noontime, the sun is directly overhead, the plant turns toward that. Then at dusk, the plant turns till the nighttime, and the plant closes up and waits for the bathing life of the sun to come again. These far infrared is the ones that bathe us of life. And so just like solar power, you can turn electricity sunlight into electricity. You can also turn electricity back into sunlight. And that's what these far infrared blankets do.
Okay, now you can get a far infrared home kit with like a zipper for like under $1,000.
Yes.
And you can go to a health club and they have far infrared. Now tell me about how that penetrates into the body, and is there any potential damage or benefit to the internal organs in terms of disrupting the disease process?
Okay. So when most people go to a health spa, they have the far infrared booths. Okay, they may be, whatever wood they're made out of, and you get in, you put your whole body in there. That's good. However, you may not be able to reach the therapeutic temperatures that are needed for cancer and AIDS and hepatitis that you need to cure or resolve. In that, because why? Because your head is in there as well, and you may feel that you can't cool yourself. A blanket you're able to have around your body, having your head exposed with the fan going on, someone wiping your head with ice water and things like that. So you're able to actually get a better core temperature than that, even better than being in a hot water spa. Because many times you're in a hot water spa, you get in, it feels great for the first 15 minutes, and then you're sitting on the side of it with your feet in it. That's it.
Right.
But what we want to do here is be able to actually measure the temperature. What we do, we would be doing vital signs. Okay, we would be putting blood pressure cuff on you, measuring your heart rate, actually measuring your temperature. So it's not just the sweat and the detox. We actually need to find out what temperature is going to be the threshold that has objective results for killing any pathogen.
Wow. Now, let me ask you, what if I'm in my, I'm in my zipper far infrared, and it has a timer on it.
Yes.
But what if I had a disease process? How can I find out how many minutes I need for cancer, HIV, hepatitis, what have you?
So the time of it can change depending upon the body size of the person in it.
Okay.
Because what it does, the heat, the blanket basically heats the outer skin. And that goes into the capillaries, goes into the veins and arteries, and goes throughout the whole body, into the blood vessels, into the bone marrow, hitting from the head to the toe. And if someone has a bigger body mass, then of course it takes longer for them to warm up. And so again, you know, if the hotter you get, the more metabolism that you have. So the
faster your metabolism
goes, right?
manifests.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would be similar to someone being laying in the blanket, laying down. Their heart rate can get as fast as if they're actually running up a hill.
Really?
Yes.
And so the point of the heart speeding up is to maintain homeostasis?
Yes. So the hotter the body gets, the hotter the cells get, the more oxygen that they're going to want.
I see.
And so you'll be breathing deeper, breathing faster, as well as making sure that your heart pumps extra blood throughout your whole body, perfusing the body better to supply it with extra blood flow for oxygen.
Okay, so let's just take a little science moment here. In Chinese medicine, we talk about qi moves the blood and the blood pumps the heart. In Western medicine, they talk about blood perfusion, malperfusion, and they talk about ischemia. So explain what ischemia is.
Ischemia is where the tissues are not getting enough oxygen. And it could be due to multiple things. Being that I'm as a perfusionist that does life support, been doing that for 30 years, and respiratory care for 10 years before that, 40 years in life support, we have dealt with myocardial ischemia, where there's a blocked blood vessel, and anything that's beyond the block is not getting blood flow. So we call that myocardial ischemia, and then you have death of that organ because it's not getting the blood. Now it can become because of a block or a narrowing.
And that's what we call myocardial infarction.
Yes, exactly.
Which is a fancy word for heart attack.
Yeah.
So now, how would you recommend increasing blood perfusion using thermal therapy?
Well, you need to do it at least 3 times a week.
Mm.
Yes. Right. Ideally, if you do it at a higher temperature, you can get away with doing it once a week. But for lower temperatures, going about 102, 103 degrees 3 times a week, what that's going to do, fat clogs up the arteries.
Fat.
Right.
Fat clogs the arteries.
We need fat. Certain oils are
Healthy fats.
Healthy
fats.
But the stuff that gets clogged up in the arteries, like we said earlier, if you put butter in your hand, it'll melt.
It'll melt.
Imagine putting your butter in pretty much a spa, and how quickly that butter will melt inside of a hot water or in the shower. Okay, so now you're going to have that butter or the fat inside you start to liquefy. It's much easier to get rid of that
when it's hot.
And for us coming from our background of Africans living in the Western Hemisphere that has got the standard American diet of eating so much toxic, wasteful food.
Sad.
Doing these detox will help eliminate the fat. For those, imagine this people that eat the chitlins, and you see all the boiled chitlins, all the fat that's on top. You pour that off, put some more water in, vinegar, and it comes back again, more fat. All that is inside of you. By actually heating yourself, it melts that. All the fat that's in your colon turns to grease, and you actually cleans your colon even better.
So heat, thermal therapy, can detoxify the fat from your blood, thermal therapy can increase oxygen in the tissues.
Yes.
Heat therapy can make you feel relaxed.
Yes.
And take the stress and tension out of your muscles.
Yes.
Wow.
The side effects, benefits of it is that the muscles that are tight can now get extra heat, extra blood flow, and tend that are once knotted up are now able to relax. So if you were to get a massage after getting thermal therapy, the therapist can go deeper down in there because your synovial fluid has increased. All the extra blood, all the joints that were getting hypo-perfused are now getting better perfused. And now the synovial fluid's in there, the muscles are more relaxed and heated up, and so you're able to stretch better. The therapist can get in there and then move you where you can
break up the stagnation
and the tension and all that. So you'll get a better detox, a better relaxation, and in addition, you get endorphins being released. So the natural painkillers that we have are released, and you're able to actually feel much better. You get that natural high after these treatments.
Okay, now I got something to add to thermal therapy, which is cold therapy.
Yes.
Now, the heat gets rid of the white fat. The ice water following the heat gets rid of the brown fat. So you have two types of fat, white fat and brown fat. So you need heat and cold to balance.
Yes.
So one of my favorite places to go is the Russian Turkish bathhouse in Miami.
Yes.
And we go into the hot tub and then we take a cold shower.
Yes.
And then we go into the steam room and we pour buckets of cold water.
Woo!
Then we go in the sauna and then we pour buckets of cold water. So we alternate hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. So the heat drives the toxins to the surface of the skin where the pores open up and the toxins come out. And then the cold then closes the pores and pushes the blood to the core.
Yes.
So by pushing the blood to the surface with the heat and the cold to the core, it literally washes the blood.
Yes.
But the most important part of thermal therapy is the tissues, which get a chance to hold the oxygen. Now, we have a question. What is the recommended amount of time for the hot shower? And I guess that would depend upon the size of the person, size and weight of the person.
Well, it all depends on how much hot water you have available. Sometimes hot water tanks run out after 20 minutes.
Right.
So what we have at our center in California, we have a well that's a natural heated well from the earth. So it's no chlorine, it's just natural spring water, well water, that is unlimited.
Okay, so tell us, where you live in Desert Hot Springs, the water comes out of the ground at 115 degrees?
Yes, it's 108 degrees
108
in the
degrees.
wintertime, about 120 degrees in the summertime, and
That's natural heat. He's not heating that electrically. That's coming right out
yes,
of the ground.
Yeah.
And the water's purer than government standards.
exactly. So when you get an unlimited part of water, you can actually get these spot heaters as well that will actually heat the water if you have don't want to use a hot water tank. So those are available at hardware stores. But I would say you would stay in there for at least 20 minutes. And while you're in there, you would breathe in the steam, you would cough and gargle and spit everything down the drain. Basically kind of do a neti wash with what you do it. And what I also do as an additive to it is I get a spray bottle. There's a 50% peroxide, rest water, a couple drops of tea tree oil, colloidal silver, and some eucalyptus. Close my eyes and squirt that in my face. I breathe that in. And that there disinfects my sinuses, my pharynx, breathe it into my lungs. That cleanses everything that's up there. Even if I was contaminated somewhere else out in the field with Rona, it now disinfects everything all the way down into my lungs. And in fact, you can even spray the rest of the shower with the peroxide and all that. It disinfects the shower.
Okay, hold on. Don't give them too much. Don't give them too much.
Okay.
Now, if you have a question and you're listening on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, you can just text your question wherever you're listening. If you're on your phone, you can text to 81010 at Ask Dr. Love. You'll get a reply window, and then you can ask your question. Now, we need you to ask the questions in the comments because we got a lot of information to drop, and we got a short amount of time to drop it. So let's repeat. You have a spray bottle with tea tree oil, hydrogen peroxide, and colloidal silver. Nano colloidal silver, not the regular colloidal silver.
As well as eucalyptus.
And eucalyptus essential oils.
Yes.
So I'm going to repeat that again. Eucalyptus oil, nano colloidal silver,
Tea tree oil.
tea tree oil, wow, and hydrogen peroxide.
Yes.
Wow. Now, I think we are going to make up that formula
Yes.
and put it in spray bottles if you want to get it.
There you go.
That's what you and I are going to do.
All right.
Now, if you think you are exposed and you are self-diagnosing and or self-treating the Rona, go into the hot shower and then spray it in your own face, and then you can use it as a disinfectant in your personal space.
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
You can spray it on a face mask. You can spray it on doorknobs. It's everywhere, and it's safe because it's peroxide, and everything else
It's
is
just
natural.
peroxide.
And essential oils. Yeah, exactly.
So I guess this means that I and my team have to go to Desert Hot Springs.
Absolutely, we'd love to have everyone there. Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to have that experience.
Yeah. But I would like to say this too, is that if you have someone, especially if they're elderly, just like they have the warnings on the spas, if you're old or heart disease or diabetes, to watch out being in a spa for a long time. You can have why? Because you get a fever, your blood pressure can go down, you get dizzy, you can slip and fall. So if you're doing this and you're doing this for someone else, make sure you have someone in and near the bathroom as a caretaker, that they have a bell or chair that they can sit down. They can alarm you if they start to feel faint while they're in the shower.
Right. So if you're shaky physically, don't do this unless you got a helper.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you start to get too hot, what do? Turn on the cold water.
Turn on the cold water.
You always have your drink in there as well, so make sure you're very well hydrated.
You got to stay hydrated. And the best hydration is lemon water?
Absolutely.
Bingo.
With a little bit of Himalaya or Utah salt in there.
Utah salt or Himalayan salt?
Yes.
I have a question.
Okay, we have a question from the team.
Does this help you have better sleep and relaxation?
Absolutely.
So repeat the question. Does this help you with sleep and relaxation?
Yes, it does help with sleep and relaxation. They will get the best sleep they had in a very long time. And then when they wake up, they're going to be so rested, they're going to say, well, I need to go out and start my garden. And they'll be halfway in the garden. Where I get all this strength from? And you do this as a way of life, you'll feel great.
And this is what we do. When we go to the Russian bathhouse once a month, this is what we do. And we come back and we knock out right away. We come home 7, 8 o'clock at night. Best sleep ever. Now, I've been to your center,
Yes.
and you've got these lounge chairs with foot bath,
Yes.
and that's hot water.
Yes.
And what other hyperthermia sessions or equipment? You have it. You have the blankets at your place,
Yes,
right?
we have the blankets, we have baths, and so heated baths. Heated baths are actually a way that you can actually get in the hot water, and we can put just like teas or
Yes.
or topicals. So
Right.
people that have high blood pressure can have those nitro bags, nitro patches, or
Right.
people that want to quit smoking cigarettes, they have the nicotine patches. So you're able to absorb medicines through your skin. Likewise, having these baths, hot water baths, you're able to get the medicines in your system while you're in these hot tubs. So if you're in a hot tub that has various teas. My wife makes these teas. My wife is Akua is just simply phenomenal. She's a medicine woman. She's actually more naturopathic than I am. She has these things. She make a turmeric bath. She'll make a chaparral bath. Different things that are natural healings that you'll bathe in. And as you're in this hot tub, it just absorbs in there. So as well as you're able to just chill out and relax. The view from our property of the Coachella Valley is just so relaxing. We're on top of the mountain, and so we're able to see the view of it. Is great.
Coachella Valley. Wow.
So yes, we have a question from Barbara Hyman that are we offering hyperthermia sessions at your center in Desert Hot Springs? Absolutely. I've trained not only myself to do this, I have a patent on this, and we'll be training this here at the Blue Dragon also. So we have people in several places in California, Arizona, and we'll be doing it here in Florida as well.
All right. I'm thrilled. I'm ecstatic. So any comments you have about hyperthermia or hot cold therapy, or how you can create a process, a home. So tell us what we can do at home other than the hot shower.
Okay. Another way is that, and this one's a little bit more, I would say, questionable because the reports on these have been bad. Okay, and I'll say it like that. A hot car, people leave pets or a child in a hot car, and they can actually die from the heat because a car that's left out in the heat and the sunlight can get extremely hot in a short period of time and can actually kill people. So this is something that you want to make sure that we do monitoring on.
Must monitor. You need a partner to monitor, and you got to be able to breathe, and you have to be able to hydrate,
Yes.
and you can't panic.
Right. So what can be done, you can go into a car, park the car in a hot area, and have your hoodie on, have your sweats on, have your juices in the car next to you. Put the music on while you're chilling. And as you're in there, you can have someone to make sure that you're getting your blood pressure, you're taking your temperature and all that while you're inside. You have someone outside the car that is the monitor, that's able to tap on the window, observe everything that's going on, making sure you're safe. You stay in the car and you sweat and you get your temperature, and you have the thermometer to raise your temperature up to about 103, 104 degrees. You stay in there for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half at the max. And then if you start to get too hot, what do? You roll down the windows.
Drink some
If
water.
you have to turn on the AC and take off your hoodie and cool off, you do so. You can actually lower your seat down, because what happens when you go in the shop, you put your feet up, right? So you lower your head down so you're able to recover from these things. But this is something you can do, but I highly recommend that you have someone that's experienced, and we will train you how to do these things at our center in California, as well as once we get it trained up here.
Once we get it up here. Now, do you want people to contact you directly, or you want them to go through me to get to you?
Dr. Love, I would like everyone to go through your show. I want everyone to go through you, and that way you'll be the reference, and we'll move from there.
Okay.
I guess you can go through 21days2wellness.com. That's 21days2wellness.com. That's 21days2wellness.com.
That's great. So the next question is, how can they purchase the infrared blankets, or any of the things we talked about? If you want to know where to get that, contact us.
Yes.
I will get a list from him of the recommended equipment to use, because not all equipment is equal.
Right. And as well as that, you want to make sure that you're measuring vital signs. And what are the vital signs? What are the natural? Which are the ones that are alerts? You want to have this information, what's going to go on. I remember one of the times I was treating someone that was in this, they are getting rid of toxins. There was someone that was addicted to opiates and didn't share that with me. Okay. So why do people stay on opiates? They would want to get off of it. They're scared of the detox.
They're scared of the withdrawal symptoms.
Withdrawals, right. So whenever we're doing this, what happens in hyperthermia? You detox. So this person went through a rapid detox during the time of doing the hyperthermia. So whenever we're doing these things, especially when doing higher heats, you want to make sure that you're properly trained. Okay? Because certain things can go haywire, go wrong. So you want to make sure you come through Dr. Love, get with us, and we'll train you properly.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
It's just amazing, like you said, the law of attraction. We're all in this big blue ball together.
Yes.
So we need to support each other. And he's got a wealth of knowledge, and I can't wait to get with him. And as soon as we can fly, the Falcons, the Blue Dragons, will fly to Desert Hot Springs.
Right on.
Okay. So, any last words you want to share with our audience?
This can go even further than what we're talking about. With Dr. Love and other people that have higher skill level, just for example, this is a karmic event that you're involved in right now. You are the actual healer. We're just conduits of you actually healing yourself. And so you got to know how to be the physician healing yourself, and how to do the breath work, how to do the metaphysics, how to do the biofeedback for harmony. And remember, you have all the power to do it.
Your health is in your hands. Prevention is the only cure. And in order to be well, you've got to chi well.
Yes. Yes.
So lovechigong.com to register for the classes.
People are saying they don't know where the office is in DHS and they still don't know how to contact you.
Go to mobilenaturalhealingindustries.com. And also you can always go to 21daystowellness.com. We can, do you mind putting up a link? That'll work?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So if you go to 21daystowellness.com, there's a...
Repeat that again?
mobilenaturalhealingindustries.com. We have a phone number, it's 888-431-7325. But the best way to get me is go through Dr. Love at this point in time.
Because he's mobile and he's traveling and he's working. He's doing life support. So I think the plug needs to be plugged in before the computer dies.
People say thank you, amazing show, great information.
Right on. Love you. Peace.
Love you.